I want to share a true story about manifestation. And with the world as crazy as it is, and everybody talking about all the dramas and the traumas. And, my work is all about manifesting. I wrote this book, Postcards to the Universe, Harness the Universe's Power and Manifest Your Dreams. And I want to tell you a true story about manifestation from about my friend. So I've known him pretty much since we were teenagers. He is Italian American, and he wanted to get his dual citizenship. This has been for many years since we were basically kids. He wanted to get dual citizenship. So when we became adults, he looked into the process and found out that he was eligible because at the time you could be, now I think you can only be first generation to get your Italian citizenship. Everything's changed because probably because of this administration, they don't want you to be second or third. Can't blame them. Anyway, before that, I think he's second generation. Anyway, so he went through the process, which was super stressful, very stressful, of having to get his grandparents' documentation, where they were born, if they were naturalized, if they weren't, when his parents were born. He had to get original documents, original birth certificates, original marriage certificates. So it took him about 5 years to do that, plus getting an appointment with the Italian consulate, which was years in advance, right? There's one here in South Florida. You make an appointment and you might not get the appointment for 2 years. You're waiting for a long time. You have to have the paperwork. Many people do it through attorneys, but he did it all on his own. So, he did a little at a time. He had parents that were, born in another state, so he had to reach out to that state, get the state seal. It was just like a whole thing. So he took his time and did the action steps of getting his citizenship, right? And I had many conversations with him where he was very stressed out about it happening and how bad he really wanted it, and the whole thing. So flash forward, right? In the meantime, now this process took over 5 years because he did it himself and took his time and getting his appointments. He wanted to learn to speak Italian. His mother spoke Italian. His father spoke Italian. His father was deceased, and both of his parents actually are deceased at this time. But when I'm Italian also. So when Italians came to the United States, they really wanted to be Americanized. So unlike the Latinx community, they didn't really want their children speaking in the native tongue. They wanted their children to speak American English. And so it wasn't spoken the way that it wasn't, unfortunately, and I wish it was, and I know he wishes it was too, that we were taught and spoken to in our grandparents' language, right? So he wanted to learn Italian. So he joined this app where you speak to people in other countries and you help them learn English and they help you learn the language that you want to learn. And he was hooking up with people in Italy because he wanted to learn Italian. And he became very, very good friends with a woman whose English was pretty decent, and who was helping him. And they got to become friendly. So this is what I mean when I say manifestation. You never know when you put something out there how you will get what you are trying to bring into your life, what you're trying to manifest. So he became very good friends with this woman. Now, she was married, and it was not in any way inappropriate. There's no relationship. But the more she got to know him, the more she realized, the quirks of his personality, and how funny he was, that she wanted to introduce him to her friend because she has similar style to him, a similar personality, similar quirkiness about him. So she made the connection between the two. Now, she is also Italian. She was living in an island, though. Like, she wasn't living in Italy when they met. She was working in one of the European islands. So for the first time, they started talking. Then they started FaceTiming, and meanwhile, he's doing the paperwork. Right. So this is all happening at the same time. The paperwork is going back and forth. So they ended up meeting for the first time in person. They flew and met. I think it was in Portugal where they met, and they hit it off right away. And yeah, they liked each other right away, and it just kind of was like a connection. So they kept in contact, started talking every day. The relationship grew from there. Meanwhile, he's doing the paperwork. He finds out through the paperwork, yes, he got his citizenship. He got it. He was thrilled, right? But there's no way to contact them. Like, there's no phone number. So they send you your paperwork through the mail, and it's not even registered mail. It's not even like you have to sign for it. The way they do it is so like backhanded. So, and it could take, you didn't know when it was going to come. Like, you didn't know when your official passport, your new passport was going to come, and the official paperwork was going to actually get to you. And they're sending it regular mail, not tracked, not secured. It's just crazy the way that they did it. So, he's a nervous wreck, and that's his personality. He's always a nervous wreck. And, weeks could go by, months could go by. He's on all these message boards, and people are saying, yeah, I got approved, but still 6 months later, I still haven't gotten my official paperwork. So all of this is happening at the same time. He is talking to this woman now who's Italian. She's an Italian citizen, and they have made this connection. So I don't even know how long it took him. I think it took like almost like 6 or 7 months before he finally actually got it. So in that time, they had really, really started like liking each other and met again, and decided, she was going to come to the US for a little bit, and, really hit it off. And he gets the paperwork. So he gets his citizenship. Great. Perfect. He's thrilled. He's ecstatic. He's happy, right? This is what he's always wanted. I mean, he's always wanted this since we were kids. So then the relationship blossoms, right? And really blossoms. And she decides she wants to come to the United States and get her dual citizenship here also. So they end up getting married. And she goes through her whole process legally. They've been married now. I think they just celebrated 6 years in March. So this is years ago, but they ended up getting married, and she gets her way to her American dual citizenship with Italy, but he had already gotten his paperwork citizenship through the lineage, which he could do. But my point to him was, either way, if that didn't fall through for you, I would say this to him, if you didn't get it this way, through the lineage, through your own grandparents, through your parents, you would have gotten it through your marriage. So it was destined for you to get it. Either way, it would have happened for you. And that is how he manifested getting his dual citizenship. And that is the power of manifestation. He had this desire so strongly for so many years, and it doesn't always show up easily. It doesn't always show up fast. You have to take action steps. But even even with the action steps that he was taking and the route that he was going, there was a whole other parallel line running towards citizenship for him through a relationship that was completely unexpected. He went to the app to learn to speak Italian. He met a woman who he became friends with, who was married, and they liked each other. They liked each other's personalities. And she thought he would be a good connection for her best friend who was single. So he never would have even met her if he hadn't gone on this app to learn Italian. She lived in another country, right? So you have the power of the internet. So when I tell you, when you are really have a strong desire for something that you want and you put it out there and you take the action steps, the universe wants to give you what it is you are asking for, okay? And it will find a way. And it found two ways for him, two ways it could have happened. And they were happening in parallel timelines with each other, that he got what he's always wanted, right? And I joke with him all the time because I'm friends. We've been friends forever. And I'm friends with his wife. And I'm like, okay, so now you guys divorce. You can stay together, but you marry me and then I'll have my citizenship and I can have my dual citizenship. And he's like, you're crazy. I'm like, why? She's cool. She'll do it. And they just laugh at me. Because I would love to have dual citizenship. You know, my roots 3 generations back are from Italy. And I would love to have that connection there, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, my point is I'm talking about manifesting. No matter what is happening in the world, whatever's happening out there, you can still manifest the things that you want. If you really have a strong desire for it, you take the action steps towards it. You believe you deserve it. Okay, that's very important. Believe that you deserve it. He believed that wholeheartedly. And he's not the most positive person I know. Okay, he's a Virgo and he can overthink things and make himself crazy. He's very mercurial. He goes over things. He's a big worrier. He's not always the best at looking at the brighter side of things, right? He's more pessimistic, very sarcastic, but he knew he deserved to have that. That was the strength. That's where he was vibing. He was vibing so strong with the I deserve to have this. My lineage is from there. I have a connection to Italy and I deserve it. And he made it happen. And that's where he got met. He got met there because he vibed there. He knew it, like somewhere deep in his bones, in his DNA. Right? He knew it. He knew he deserved it, and it happened for him. And it was happening for him whether he went through the paperwork way, through the lineage here, or just so happened to meet his wife, who he never would have met, right? Without wanting to learn to speak Italian. So that's why I'm talking about manifestation. And I wanted to share that story with you. His story is in my book, Postcards to the Universe. He made a postcard for me. I made him make one. And it's in here. And I share the story basically that I just shared with you, along with a bunch of other stories of people who made postcards and then their manifestation showed up in the reality. But I got this new deck. I showed it a couple times, the Everyday Spells for Busy Witches. Right? So there's a bunch of manifestation cards. There's a bunch of all different kinds of cards: protection, banishing, cleansing. There's a bunch. And each one has a different ritual on the back. So this is called the spell box wishes. And I actually have a spell box that I've made for my 13 wishes. So I keep, that as a reminder of the 13 wishes I did in the beginning of the year to come true this year. Okay, so you can make a spell box. On a waxing or full moon, create a treasure box to safeguard your wishes for the month to come. Make a creative representation of your wishes using a drawing, words, a sigil. You could use clay or any medium you wish. Place it into a small box and chant 3 times. May the moonlight shine on this witch's box of mine. As my wishes come to me, as I will it, so shall it be. Place your open box in the moonlight to absorb the moon's energy. In the morning, close it and keep it somewhere safe. Recharge it on a full moon. And I thought this was just such a beautiful, easy manifestation ritual that you can do. Here, I'm going to hold this up for you guys so you can screenshot it if you want. And you can do the ritual. You can do it for the month. You can do it for the year. You can do it however you want to do it. Make it your own. One of the things that I like to use for spell boxes is old cigar boxes. If you go to a cigar store, they have tons of cigar boxes sitting there that are either free or a dollar or two, and you can purchase one and you can make a spell box. You can make a manifestation spell box for your wishes and keep it somewhere in your house. If you want to manifest a relationship, a good thing to do is keep the box in your bedroom. And if you look for on Google, if you Google what a bagua is, you will see where the relationship part of your bedroom is, and you could keep the box in the relationship part of your, it breaks up your space for feng shui. It's a feng shui. So there's a career space, there's a family space, there's health, there's love, relationships, and depending on walking in the door. So when you're walking in your bedroom, there is a relationship section of your bedroom. So you could do that for a relationship. Put in pictures of what you want your love to look like, your relationship, weddings, engagement rings, whatever. Write a letter to your new love. You make it your own, is my point. You make it your own. So I wanted to share this because I thought this is a fun thing to do. It takes the focus off of out there and the worry and all the things that we need to be scared of, and it brings it back into us, into what our dreams and wishes are and what it is that we want to create. And I wanted to share with you a real story from a very dear friend of how he manifested becoming a dual citizen of America and Italy. His, what he always wanted, and how it happened and how it does happen. The universe will find a way to bring to you what you want. Okay, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear what you think about the story, and share anytime you've manifested something that has been like totally unbelievable. I would love to hear about it. And if you want to make a postcard, reach out. Just go to my website, postcards.𝐶universe.com, and it tells you how to make one. Okay, bye.